way up. You can take a breather if you need to.
Little John.
What's up, Little John? That's me.
Little John. I still can't get on that Sam man train.
Yeah, I think it's a one-car train at this point, but it's okay.
I'm trying to. I think Little John's a lot more.
Yeah.
A lot more probable for that nickname.
Yep.
How do you feel the defense is ready for game one?
Yeah, I think the coaches and everyone's done a good job of staying focused throughout this whole week, and all of camp really. I know Jay, Coach Polha, Coach K-Pop, Coach Enna, Coach Guilford, all those guys are doing the best they can to get us ready, and everyone's bought into what we're trying to do, and that's do the best defense we can do, and know that we can play what we've been prepared to do.
Kind of on that note of the defense, I mean, there's a lot of newness and probably some new terminology, new install, as the coaches like to talk about it, new playbook, that kind of thing. You feel like the newness of this defense is starting to wear off, and you're just ready to go out there and play ball? Yeah,
it's starting to click. It's been a time adjusting. I mean, you look at how many guys were on the defense last year, and this year it's only a handful, right? So we got new coaches and new players too, as well. So everything's a little bit different. But I think week 4 of camp and going into game week, I think this is about as gel as we're going to do. And I feel really confident in the chemistry and how the coaches are relaying all the calls to us and making sure that everyone understands we're taking care of it.
What do you make of that Sam Houston? What's the kind of the number one thing, I guess, that stands out about that Sam Houston offense?
I mean, they're a really good program. I think they just made the jump to FBS. Regardless of what happened last year, the year before that, I know 2 years ago they won the national championship. Yeah, so they're hungry. They're going into a bigger stadium, so we can't take them lightly. And I know they're not going to take us lightly. It's week 1. It's a big game for us. It's just as big a game for us as it is for them. So we're prepared to play the best that we can do and play how we know we can play.
What gives you confidence that this defensive line can put more pressure on the quarterback this year?
I just think with there being 4 of us on the line of scrimmage now, that's going to help a lot. Not as many double teams. I think that we've been working on it, getting pressure, doing that in our individual. We got a coach, Sione Poha. He played in the NFL for a long time, was a captain for the Jets, has been a really good coach on the collegiate level. So he really knows how to coach us up, and we're in a defense where we're proud to get after the quarterback. So I think those combination of things is really helpful to get after the quarterback.
What, if any, goals have been set on how you guys want to improve in that category? Is there any numbers or any metrics that will go into improving there?
Yeah. We have a certain amount of sacks set each game, and I think it's more on not only on the coaches. It's obviously new defensive staff. They want to set goals on getting after the quarterback, but I think with me and Atanas Mahe and Tyler Batty and some of the guys that have been here from last year, we want to prove it to ourselves that we can get after the quarterback ourselves. Not just for anybody else, but just for our own playing ability. I know Tyler wants to get after the quarterback. I know Nisa's hungry. I know Caden Hawes wants to get some more sacks. I know I want to get some more sacks. So some of us that have been there and did the other defense, we want to prove that we can be pass rushers.
With all the off season and everything building up to this year, to the new conference, to all of that kind of off the field storylines or whatnot, is this brand new defense ready for prime time, do you think?
I think that the coaches have done a great job preparing us. I think the other 10 guys on the field with me are going to do the best that they can do, and I also think that our mindset's a good mindset to play and compete each Saturday. I think that I'm not going to guarantee anything because we don't know until the games start, but I think that our gel and our chemistry is a lot better than where it has been.
Coaches earlier in the week said that the mass substitutions will not be a thing this year like they had in previous years. As a player, when you hear something like that, and you've probably known that for a while, learning defense, but how do you react to news like that, knowing that you could be playing more snaps, less substitutions in drives?
Yeah, it just means that you need to stay more focused when you're tired, and you need to be more mentally tough when things aren't going your way. You're staying in there. You make a bad play, you're not going to get subbed out. You got to stay in there. So I think that it's definitely a challenge. Obviously, some of those longer play drives, we might, the D line will substitute a little bit more than everybody else, but still it's going to be tough. But some of those play drives from last year, getting double teamed, 8 plays in a row might carry over. So we're gonna try our best. Everybody's been running after practice. I know the linebackers are running right now. They just got done, but so they're gonna stay on top of it. So I think we're in a good spot to handle those more reps.
What challenges do you face against a team like Sam Houston, where there's just so much unknown for an opening game of the season?
We just as far as the defensive side of the ball, we just got to stick to playing assignment sound defense, sticking to what we know, not trying to do too much, just doing our job. We know that they're going to come out firing on all cylinders. We got a plan for that. They're not going to take us lightly, and we just got to play physical, assignment sound football like we've been practicing.
I'm good.
All right. Thanks, guys. Yep. What's your name?
Matt Baimonte.
Nice. Nice.
So this might be a little weird, but I have to ask. So
Yeah.
my cousin and Mackenzie Montague is like,
Oh, that's your cousin?
yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
her mom is my mom's sister. So we love John Nelson. He would come over all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I'll grab him sometime and say hello.
Yeah. No, that's a really good family. I miss going over there. Yeah, she's great. Yeah.
She's a riot.
Yeah. Let's go. Nice to meet you.
Little John to
Fine.
Big League.
Already?
That doesn't win Big League.
I don't know what you even said. I don't know.
I'm trying to come up with a good nickname for you. And nothing's rolling off the tongue. I'm just gonna stop.
With all the injuries to the other safety position, how does that affect what you guys are going to do at the free safety spot?
Nothing. We're just going to keep balling. You know what I'm saying? Keep keeping each other healthy, keeping ourselves healthy by going treatment and everything. We know the situation we in, and, just got to go. As football, it's part of the game, really. It's part of the game. So you can't really predict what's going to happen. But all we know is that whenever something does happen, we got the people to just step up and do what it is they need to do.
All throughout the offseason, we heard that this defense is going to be more aggressive. Do you think missing some dudes at the other safety spot will lessen the aggression, or is it just going to be the
Nah,
same?
next guy up. It's the same thing. We're not changing the scheme for nobody. Feel me? Everybody should be able to do the same thing the guy in front of us is doing. So if I go down, next guy up, somebody else, it's every position, offense and defense. We're all expected to be just as good as the guy in front of us or even better, And better is definitely the expectation anyway. So.
We've seen a little bit of Ethan Slade, but probably going to see a little bit more just for all those reasons that you mentioned right there. You've seen a lot more of him. What kind of a player is Ethan?
Man, I could get emotional talking about Ethan because Ethan was here for the same time I was here. There was nobody else doing 2-day workouts with me other than Ethan. It was me, Ethan, D'Angelo Menda, he's gone, but if it came down to doing 2 workouts a day, Ethan was right there next to me. He was right there next to me trying to learn the playbook, right there next to me trying to do everything in his power right. He has worked extremely hard to get into the position that he's in right now. And, I really can't be any happier than Ethan, bro, or any happier for Ethan, it's amazing just to see how far he's come, It really is. I'm excited for him to see how he does first game of the season. And I just hope I know he'll go out there and ball out. And if he doesn't, he's going to put his all into it, 100% effort into it. And that's nothing that you can't ever say about Ethan that he doesn't do. So
he's one of those guys who deserves an opportunity, though.
He deserves the world, bro. Yeah, he deserves a shot at the NFL. He deserves everything, man. A lot.
Whole new defensive scheme. How do you feel this defense is ready to put it onto the field in a game situation?
I think we're ready, I think we're ready. I think, we'll see come September 2nd, 8:15. But for the most part, I think we're all ready. I think we'll just have to see how it all comes together as a team. If all this has been a waste or if all of it has been able to carry on. And I believe that it'll carry on into all 12 of these games this year.
From a player's perspective, what's the hardest part of learning a new defense when it comes to playing in a game?
It's just, I think, about the adjustments and more so the technique of how coaches want things. And, some coaches like things more high to low. Some coaches like more downhill. So it just depends. For us, we've had to adjust from what we did earlier to what we do now. And I think I think we've adjusted well well for the most part.
Joe Nelson was telling us that he expects his defensive line to create a lot more pressure on the quarterback than he did a year ago. What have you seen from that group in fall camp that leads you to believe that they'll be a more effective at pressuring the quarterback?
I mean, we've seen sacks left and right. We've seen, offense go after the defense and defense go after offense. And when that does happen, there's been a lot of sacks, a lot of TFLs, a lot of good reads on the screens and everything else. So, yeah, I think it's good. We're going to see a lot of good things.
It's good?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Luke.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Blake.
it.
Hey, thanks, Blake. Sorry, you're good. You're good.
I will let them know.
Yeah, don't tell them I said that. All right. How's it going, guys? Good.
Jay, how concerned are you with the depth of your safeties group with the 2 injuries?
No, I don't know. Anytime there's injuries, it's next guy up mentality for us. It's always been that way. Injuries occur at every team across the country. How you handle them is going to be the key to success.
At this point with Talon, do you expect it to be a couple of weeks, or how long do you feel like the time will be without?
We don't know for sure. I'm not a doctor. It's not going to be immediate, but it's not going to be season-ending either.
You noted yesterday that could be safety by committee. What does that maybe look like? Are you envisioning playing maybe 3, 4? I mean, how many guys are you thinking?
Well, I think we have the ability throughout, we still have another week at camp for guys to continue to step up. We got these first couple games where depth charts don't necessarily have to be solidified at any point. And when guys get in there, it's going to be their responsibility and opportunity to step up and prove that they deserve to be the full-time starter for the rest of the year. And if they're not accomplishing that, then maybe we have to look at, the third or fourth guy and see who during the games really steps up and plays great.
Any consideration to bring someone like Heckard, who you've obviously coached a lot, to that safety spot?
Well, we could do that for sure. We got a bunch of corners right now playing at a high level. I like those guys, but I also like the safety group, and there's a lot of guys in there that I trust right now that will step up and do a good job in the absence of, some of the guys that went down. And really, that's what you need to have a great team, is you got to have guys step up in these situations.
Ethan Slade was atop the depth chart. What set him apart to have you put him there?
Well, Ethan's proven to me that he's a playmaker. He has done that spring ball and then in fall camp again. I know even prior to me coming in, he was a guy that people liked on the defensive side of the ball, and Coach Kalani really liked him. So he's proven his worth through the program here and has done nothing but impress me since I've been here.
Didn't see Ice Mo on the depth chart this week. Is there any update on him? Is it similar to Talon where it's injury related, or?
Oh, you're going to see ISO playing this year, and he's coming along well. I think his progression's good, and I think he's going to be a great player in this program.
Jay, you may have addressed this before I stepped in, so I apologize if it's a repeat question. But, there's kind of a mentality going into a game against like a Sam Houston that's making this transition that, this is a game BYU should win. You've played teams, you've played games like this. What's the mentality you have to make sure the guys have, to avoid that kind of, approach?
Well, I've been on the flip side of that, right? Coaching in the FCS level and feeling like you have a great team that can go in and compete against the FBS schools. And our mentality has to be, it doesn't matter who we play, what the name on the front of the shirt really doesn't matter, because we got to be ready to go each and every week. And if we play great, we'll love the results, no matter who we play. But that's going to be our constant goal, is to go in there and play great. It's a nameless, faceless opponent, and you just go in there and execute and make it all about how we play.
I still imagine you've got to be ready for their best shot.
Oh, they're going to give us their best shot. And this is a talented team now. Before last year, they had won 22 straight games and a national championship, and what they say is the best season in the history of college football. So the reality is this is a very talented team coming in here. This is a team that knows how to win, and we got to be ready for their best shot, which we will be. And if we go out and play great, we'll like the results.
What's the biggest unknown about this Sam Houston team?
Well, defensively speaking, they have a new offense coordinator that coordinated last at Virginia Tech in 2021. They have an offensive-minded head coach who, has had very good offenses in the past. So are they going to do more what the offensive coordinator did when he was at Vautech? Or are they going to do more what the head coach liked to do in years past? How does that fit with the offensive personnel that they have? they redshirted a lot of guys last year, a lot of their key guys that they wanted to hold over for this season. So I don't know that the film from Sam Houston or for Virginia Tech is just an exact thing of what we're going to see on Saturday, so we got to be ready for it all.
Do you know much of Coach Keeler at all?
You know what, we never played against each other, but I have extreme respect for him and his programs and how they played. And every year when we were in FCS football battling against each other for playoff spots and stuff like that, I just know his teams were very good, very competitive always.
How big of a change is maybe your workflow going from being a head coach in a game week to now a defense coordinator? Are you sizing up more, breaking down more film? Like what's kind of that?
Yeah, it's just completely different on where my focus is. Right now it's all about defense, watching enough film on the opposing offenses, where when I was a head coach it was everything. I was watching offense, defense, special teams. I was never getting quite in depth like the coordinators did. But it was like you had your hand in everything, and then all the while you had to run the entire program with, NIL and boosters and discipline and everything else going on. I don't have to worry about that per se, but yeah, it's just a different workload. It's same hours and same grind, but just different things I'm doing.
Are you enjoying the change then?
Absolutely. That's one thing you miss a lot of times as a head coach. You miss being in the weeds with the players. You miss the game planning. You miss the scheming and getting out in practice and calling things against the offense. I mean, that's part of the reason why we love what we do and a lot of times as a head coach, you don't always get to do that.
How much percentage-wise are you spending on looking at Virginia Tech or Sam Houston? Do you kind of have like a rough estimation of how much time you're spending on both of those?
We've spent a great amount of time on both. We're looking closely at Sam Houston for personnel and some things that maybe Coach Keeler liked to do in the last couple of years, and then we're spending a lot of time on what they did at Virginia Tech over the 2019-2021 season, just making sure we don't miss anything. We've looked at a lot of stuff, and we try to incorporate how they're going to try to attack us based on everything we've seen over the last couple of years.
How big of a resource is Kelly Papinga in that respect because he coached against him?
Exactly. Coach Papinga's been phenomenal, not just against Sam Houston because he went against this offensive scheme, but just everything he brings to the table. He's very intelligent. He does a great job with his players, and his knowledge of Virginia Tech when he was at Virginia has helped for sure, and we're lucky to have him here at BYU.
How excited are you to get back to coaching in games with 60+ thousand fans? I mean, FCS has some big stages, but it's a little bit bigger here.
That's one of the things I did miss the very most was just the pageantry of some of the big time games and the big time stadiums, and to be back in LaVell Edwards Stadium on the other side of the ball and have the fans all cheering for you, I'm super excited about. I know it's going to be electric, and I have missed those big time atmospheres that we'll see each week this year.
Last question. Have you seen any other program kind of take the same redshirt approach that they have, and what's your thoughts on that?
No, I haven't really seen that. And a lot of teams never experience what they're experiencing going from FCS to FBS, and I've not necessarily seen it. Obviously, Coach Keeler knows best for his program and what he wanted to accomplish, and the players that he had last year that he felt he could get one more year out of. So, like I say, we're going to get their best shot. We got to be ready for everything that they throw at us. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jay.
See you guys. Appreciate you.
See you.